morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And I got to turn this down. My headphones were very loud because someone was here by herself yesterday.
Why would I touch that?
Who knows?
Listen, I think that the people are going to start realizing that they just want this to be the Carla Marie Show with producer Anthony.
You're more than welcome.
Okay.
You're more than welcome. But
You
you're not going to
produced
get, you got to pay producer Anthony.
You produced it very well.
You need to pay producer
You get paid
Anthony.
the same
No,
as a host, and that's big.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen those big paychecks yet. Real quick, we are in the middle of the Hype Challenge this morning. So the Hype Challenge is something that Twitch is doing with certain creators on their platform where they allow you to create or to gain these experience points, the EXP, if you will, in the gamer world. And for every time you subscribe to the channel, you gift a subscription, you resub, use a subscription with Prime, or gift bits, we get experience points. And I'll have a little widget on the screen in a second when I fix the other screen that we need. But all of that goes towards getting these different gifts. So we've already, I believe, qualified. Let's see. We're at level 3 right now.
No. We're trying to get to level. Are you talking about Hype Train or the experience thing? We're trying to. Level 3 is our next goal.
Okay, so right now we've
accomplished level 2.
Yeah, a $10 Amazon gift card. We got that. A $20 Steam wallet code.
We're going to give that away.
Yeah, we could give it away.
What is it even?
Steam, it's a platform for downloading games. So you get $20
like Stray.
Yeah, you could download Stray if it's under $20 or use the $20 to download it. And then level 3 is a $40 DoorDash gift card. So those will all be given away. Level 4 gets a little more difficult.
Well, we're keeping those.
Well, the Twitch backpack. And then we get like a cut. There's some things that'll be custom for our stream. Yeah. So those we would end up obviously keeping. So we do have that going on. Obviously, we will keep the trend of taking a shot if we get to Hype Train level 5. What's our wellness shot today? Because we're doing No Nonsense November. What do we got?
Ginger, lemon, and cayenne.
Oh, so that's going to be a little spicy, huh?
Skull kick.
Do you want to explain, as I get the other screen set up, explain what No Nonsense November is for anyone who's new to today's stream?
Yes. No Nonsense November is something that we made up. And there's like 20-something different things on the list. We encourage you to choose 5 to 10 of them of things to do this month to better yourself. And it's not all working out and eating healthy. No. Those are just 2 things on this list of 20-something. It's make your bed every morning, no scrolling. Like there's a bunch of different things. I was making my bed every morning. And then this morning I just forgot because utter chaos happened. We woke up to chaos with
Oh, yeah, we got to explain that too because a lot of people have been asking.
But yeah, No Nonsense November has been cool. It's been fun seeing people talk about it in Discord and people just checking in with one another about what they're doing. But I'm loving it so far. I actually feel great. I feel so much less bloated now that I've figured out, like I've meal prepped and I have a plan. I'm not just like eating random things around the house.
Yeah, I realized, and I said it in our Discord chat on Saturday when I was flying to Vegas. I realized that by focusing and like cutting some things out, cutting out some habits, that one of the things I was doing is anytime I would fly, I'd go to the Qdoba because I love Qdoba. I'm a big fan of burritos in general. So that was kind of like my routine. I'd get to the airport, go to Qdoba, then go to my flight.
Spend $20-something.
And I realized, I just ate before I got to the airport. It was only a 2-hour flight. I was going to land in Vegas and grab dinner with my dad. So I walked by. I actually got to Qdoba and I thought to myself, it's No Nonsense November. I don't need to do this.
You're like Pavlov, though. Like the dog walking by, just like, I need this.
And then when I was in Vegas, there was, on the way back, I was at the airport. And now I got to the airport super early because I needed to do some work from my phone and whatnot. So I got there super early. I knew that I wasn't going to eat for a while, so I had to decide on something to eat in the airport. And I went to Shake Shack. And normally, the other thing I do when I go to somewhere like Shake Shack is I'll get fries. And at Shake Shack specifically, I get cheese fries.
They're good.
I had my bottle of water already. I got online, and I realized, you know what? I don't actually, as delicious as cheese fries are, it's No Nonsense November. I can cut those out. I can still have the burger.
Okay.
Which I did. I had the double smoke shack, whatever that one is.
And you were fine.
Yeah, and it was great. So I cut out those things, and I was still able to enjoy myself in Vegas. I went out to dinner with my dad. Didn't have any soda at any of the places I went.
Okay, that was one of your things for No Nonsense.
Yeah, and that was a no exception thing either. For me, because some of the things that I decided on in No Nonsense November there are exceptions. You're right. God bless you. Like one of them is no video games. But on my flight to Jersey for Thanksgiving, I'm going to allow myself to play because it's a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to fill that time somehow.
You could read a book.
I could. My problem is when there's turbulence, I can't read.
You're like sick.
I can't look at the words and concentrate during turbulence. It does. Maybe it makes me motion sick or whatever.
It's
Seasick in the air.
Never get that.
No, it's just I can't focus on small text during turbulence.
Okay, so let's talk about the podcast issue.
Yes.
So this is a 2-part. This is a compounded issue, if you will. We both effed up on our end with posting the podcast, so it was a little late today. But while that was happening, something's also going on with Spotify and possibly Apple, because some people are seeing it on Apple and some aren't. So there's something going on in the podcast realm, if you will, that's causing kind of like a backlog or a clog. It's still not on Spotify. That's not our fault. So Spotify is having issues, so you will have to listen somewhere else today, it looks like.
And I forgot who had messaged me on Instagram, but they said that apparently Elvis's show
Carrie
is is also having issues uploading to Spotify. Yeah. So that's how which was a very nice message because we thought everything was on our side, on our end.
We're working with our engineer at the company that our podcast works through now. Yeah. And they're like, everything is perfectly fine on your end, but.
So, things happen. By the way, Carly, I just realized we're on Hype Train level 7 already. So it's time to take these wellness shots. And what was this again?
This is from Pressed. It is wellness, ginger, lemon, and cayenne.
All right. And normally, if you're new to the stream, we take actual shots here.
I haven't had alcohol.
In the office of Seattle Cocktail Club, but we're taking a little pause.
Oh, So this is the one I normally sip and pour water into.
Ooh, that smells spicy.
Cheers. I had mocktails during Murder Mystery on Friday night.
To everyone who supported the stream today, thank you very much.
You might want to open that door and tell Amy to don't drink. Hold on, because she can't have spicy. Hold on. Oh, wait, is she watching? Amy, don't drink it. Just in case, open it. I would rather alcohol at this moment in time. Amy, don't do it. It's very spicy.
It's got some kick. Gonna have a protein shake to wash it down.
I'd rather tequila.
It's still in my nose.
She's sniffing it.
Ooh. Maybe if you sniff it, it's better.
Definitely going to be blowing my nose for hours now. Ooh. Not that I wouldn't have been already, but...
Maybe. It's better if we had sipped that, but...
I told you.
Oh, you're not even done with it. I took that as a whole shot.
Yeah, you're going to be... What? Butthole's going to be burning today.
No, that doesn't happen to me.
It did once. I remember you talking about it. Because you were like, it's real. Where was that?
Okay, maybe one time in my life.
After Halal Guys?
No, because when I did that spicy challenge twice, and my stomach was fine. Granted, I prepared myself. I had like Tums beforehand and everything.
Your stomach can be fine, but when you poop, you
fine.
Don't feel burning?
I don't think so, from what I remember. Let's see. We collected all the level 6 emotes. Congratulations to everyone in the stream. You good?
Show the label.
Oh. Here we go.
Okay, just read it. Read it.
The label is Pressed Wellness, Ginger, Lemon, Cayenne. Cold pressed juice, perishable, keep refrigerated.
Wait, DJ Synth, before you give out any details, he said, speaking of Murder Mystery, thanks for trying to throw me under the bus, CM. So I talked about Murder Mystery yesterday, but I gave 0 details. I didn't say who you and I were. I didn't say anything about murderers, none of it, because I said that we may get to do this with listeners.
Yeah.
And everyone was very excited. So
it was a really fun event. I had never done a murder mystery. I've never done an event like that at all. And I had an amazing time, and I wasn't even drinking. Did you look at that? I just had waters the whole time.
Do you know when you have like that one person in every group that's like trying so hard, they're like over the top? You're like, bro, it's not that serious.
Yeah, I was the one in gym class who tried.
But that was you also at Murder Mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
You were like one step away from having an accent.
Yeah. Listen, if you tell me to play a character, I am playing that character. I didn't come to Murder Mystery to mail it in.
I can't wait until we finally do this, though, so that we can, because there was a dynamic between us at Murder Mystery where
Or what?
you yelled I was blinded by love. Okay, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jolly Russian Buddha said, you either get involved or get out.
Oh, I was involved. It was great. I don't want to tell you Tacoma Swiftie because Tacoma Swiftie has what characters did we end up playing?
We can say that. Why not? Why wouldn't we be able to say the characters?
I guess we can say the specific characters.
Yeah. So I was the underboss.
Keep in mind, I told you the boss gets murdered immediately.
Which, according to my card, according to like the information I was given, made me the boss.
Okay, be careful.
No, that's it. No, it tells you, and everyone knows that very quickly because I wanted everyone to know that I was now the new boss.
And I was a bootlegger.
Yeah.
So it was my job to get alcohol from Canada and bring it to Seattle.
Yeah. So those were our roles, and you get to I loved it, and I didn't dress up. A lot of people were dressed up in kind of like 1920s clothing. We were just in regular clothes, but I don't know how to dress as a guy. What do I wear, like tweed?
There was that guy that was in a 3-piece suit.
Which was, I think, purchased at Spirit Halloween. I think it was like a mob costume.
No, not that guy. The politician.
Oh, yeah, he was in like
he looked like a politician, but
he
didn't know he was going to be the politician. It was crazy.
But it is a lot of fun. And if you don't know what the murder mystery thing is all about, basically, and I know, Carla, you probably explained it yesterday.
I gave the whole
rundown. Okay. But
just go ahead.
For people who weren't here yesterday, I will continue very briefly. You show up, the narrator gives you a card with your character and some clues, and your job is to find, and then they explain the whole story as to how the boss in this instance dies, and then your job is to figure out who the actual murderer is. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. And you get to talk to everyone and mingle.
It's like a 3-hour affair.
In your character, sharing your clues, or your rumors, I should say, and trying to figure out what's true and what isn't.
Oh, and you do fill out a survey beforehand that it asks you some questions about your personality, and he tries to give you like a person and a role as your personality, a character and a role.
It's Meg, not Megan, said, sounds like Tones may have been a murderer. Maybe, maybe not. You'll never know. What?
It's just funny. It's a narrator.
What did I say?
You always say narrator.
Narrator.
What?
Narrator.
Narrator. Like narrator.
All right, anyway. Oh, I just launched my camera to move again. I don't know.
You don't feel like you're about to throw up at any moment?
From the shot? No, I don't. I feel fine.
Like, right before you throw up, your mouth starts filling up with water.
I did feel like that. Oh, my God. This thing is so annoying.
If I throw up, it's going to be so funny. I'm going to keep these here. Well,
you think you're going to throw up because of the shot?
Yeah. Like, I feel it swirling in my stomach, and, like, there's a lot of water in my mouth. If I barf on this stream and I didn't have alcohol.
Okay, let's get into the list, though. There's a lot of stuff we got to get to today. Carla Marie and Anthony movie night is tonight. If you did RSVP, there's still a wait list. You're more than welcome to RSVP. No?
It's closed.
It's totally closed.
I don't get in.
So if you didn't RSVP yet, I don't know if we can help you out. But if you really want to come, message us. We'll figure it out. Message me on Instagram at Worst Anthony. Now, get there at 6:15. Get there at 6:10. Because after 6:15, we can't promise that you'll get in.
That's when check-in starts.
Yeah, but if you get there at check-in, we can almost guarantee that you will be in for the movie. The movie is called Saltburn. It looks incredible. It's a thriller. I think Amazon Studios produced it.
Yeah, there's snacks that everyone's going to get, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a really cool experience. Seattle Cocktail Club will be giving away some memberships and some tickets to Cocktail District.
Yes.
Or Carnival of Cocktails.
Carnival of Cocktails.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you're there at 6:15. Love to hang out with you. We'll be there for the whole movie, obviously. And maybe we'll take a gigantic group picture in the theater.
That'd be so fun.
Next on the list is the Hype Challenge. We got into that earlier today, but you'll notice right there, we're in level 3 of the Hype Challenge, halfway to level 4. What are you trying to do?
I was trying to find it.
Oh. And level 4 we said was what? The DoorDash gift card, or did we
No,
hit that already?
Oh, we hit level 3.
Yeah.
DoorDash gift card.
Yeah, so once Twitch sends that stuff to us, which will probably be after this thing closes next Friday, once
We'll
they
give
send
them
us,
away.
yeah, we'll give them away once we get it. So, because we can't really give it away beforehand. Now, if we get to level 4,
We're keeping it.
it is a Twitch backpack and Anchor power pack, and I think they are both Twitch branded.
But we're keeping it because you have a Twitch backpack and I don't. Maybe we'll give it away.
We'll see.
I don't need another backpack.
Let's see what it looks like. That's it, Carla Marie.
I'm going to keep that.
Okay, deal. It's a purple Twitch backpack.
And if we get the Delta gift card, we're also going to keep that.
Well, here's the thing. Level 12 is the highest level they have, and I doubt we're going to get there.
3 million experience points?
3 million.
Stop.
And that gets you TwitchCon North America tickets, 2 of them, and 3-night hotel stay.
Okay, Amaranth, see you there.
Amaranth isn't on Twitch anymore.
Okay, Ninja.
He's probably still on here. I
Hot
know he
tub.
left for a little bit.
So Twitch next year is going to be all these hot tub streamers.
It could be. Very well could be.
They might as well do it the same as the Pornhub weekend or whatever it's called.
AVN?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, actually, let's move on to the next thing. I'm gonna skip flying poor, which is what I did over the weekend. Vegas butt spanking. So I flew to Vegas
With your dad.
with my dad. Well, we flew separately. He flew from Jersey. I flew from Seattle. We got to the airport around the same time. Got to the hotel, checked in, and decided let's walk the strip and find a place to grab dinner. And if you've ever walked the strip in Vegas, there are girls who wear like big feather women who wear big like feather hats and tails, and
Yes.
usually their butt cheeks are out.
They look like showgirls.
Yeah. And they're there to either sell you on a show or get you to like pay to take pictures with them or whatever. And I do my best to just avoid them at all costs because they say weird stuff.
Like what?
Like as I was walking by the first set of women dressed in
With
all
your
their
dad.
feathers with my dad, they'll catcall you basically.
I love it.
They'll be like, "Hey, Poppy, what's going on? Hey, Daddy, come take a picture." It's very uncomfortable. So we walked by a couple of them, and then again, if you've walked the strip in Vegas, there's a bunch of overpasses that you can use instead of crossing the actual street. And oftentimes, those women are on the overpass or on the stairs to get there because they know they got you trapped at that point. So there's 2 of them, butt cheeks out, boobs out, everything, in black feathers everywhere. And I see them trying to get these 2 guys to take pictures. So I'm like, perfect. We're going to sneak over to the left. And right as we're crossing their paths, the 2 guys go in the other direction.
Oh, no.
So I hear them trying to catcall us. I'm like, head forward, just go. Just go. And we make it by them. And I think I'm in the clear. And all of a sudden I felt on my butt. And she had like a paddle. And this woman spanked me
That's
as
not
I was walking by. And I did one of those things where like I felt it. My butt cheeks clenched a little bit and I just kept walking. She paddled me in the middle of the...
Did your dad get spanked?
No, just me.
Did he know you did?
I don't know. I
didn't be like, Dad, that woman just spanked
No,
me.
I just said pretend.
Okay.
I just said pretend it didn't happen, and I kept going. I just kept on walking. What was I going to do?
You need to speak out.
Say
You're
what?
like,
Stop! Quit
don't
spanking
touch me.
Quit spanking me.
Because, like, yeah, it's funny, but also if that was a guy to a woman, I would have kicked that man down the
Of course,
steps.
yeah.
I don't care if he was at Chippendales or not.
But yeah, I got spanked right above the strip.
You should have called the police.
I don't think they would have done much. I think they're much busier in Vegas than finding slapping butt spanking women.
Not acceptable.
No, that happened. And then I saw it happen the next night we were walking, and I don't know if it was the same woman or not because we were in kind of the same area. I saw her do it to a guy and a girl. She spanked both their butts when they said no and kept walking.
Auntie Tay said, that's assault, brother.
I mean, it probably is.
Yeah,
but,
like it's...
But I wasn't going to do anything about it. What was I going to do? Fight her? That's not going to happen. But yeah, good old Vegas butt spanking. Right on these cheeks. Well, one cheek. It was my right cheek. She didn't get both of them. What?
I can't even.
Why? What can't you even?
Because that's not acceptable.
No, I understand that, Carla Marie.
What company do they work for?
Themselves, probably. I don't know. And also, those women, or not those exact women, but similar women dressed in similar outfits with the big feather showgirl thing. They'll also be on the walk to the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And there, it's kind of crazy because they definitely have their butt cheeks out. And some of them are just wearing like little nipple covers. And they're just out there, broad daylight,
I can't do it.
taking pictures with people as they walk down the street.
That was how girls were at Halloween. Women were at Halloween.
What, booby tassels?
Just naked. I'm like, you're sitting on a leather couch in a public space. Don't you feel weird?
Well, the other thing, so the reason that my dad and I went to Vegas was to go see the Giants play the Raiders. And I have season tickets to the Raiders, so I used my tickets this year to take my dad. And the people that you see in the stadium in Las Vegas, they're not like people anywhere else. Like, the outfits are insane. There are butt cheeks just walking around everywhere. It's just regular fans. But there's also, like, there's showgirls and strippers and porn stars who all live in Vegas. And I feel like they oftentimes get invited by rich guys.
Right.
And that's, like, kind of what they're expected to wear. I don't know.
Imagine seeing that at Lumen Field.
I don't think you ever would. Also, it's indoors,
I did
so you
see a guy in a thong. Just that's all he wore, because it was like the throwback game / Halloween weekend.
Okay.
And he was only in a thong, naked, just waving his everything around, and you could see a lot.
At the field?
Like in his seat.
Okay, but again, Halloween. This was not Halloween weekend. This was November 7th, and or November 5th. What was Friday?
Friday
or Sunday? Sunday was the 5th. Yeah.
What's today? Yes.
So there are girls are club ready, like in the stadium, in the seats, regular seats too, not even like fancy ones, just regular seats, club ready, tight dresses, boobs out, everything.
Well, it's funny because I follow the, I meant to text you this. I follow the in-game host for the Raiders, Sib.
She was very good.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's so talented, but she's so cool. And she's allowed to wear like whatever she wants, right? And that's fine. Like, but I have to wear Seahawks branded gear.
Yeah.
She was wearing a metallic gold mini dress.
So even the staff though, like the staff that's handing out the programs and stuff, they're wearing almost like disco ball jackets. So it's not all Raiders branded. Sometimes it's just shiny silver and black is some of the uniforms for the people in the stadium.
Yeah. So that would be like me wearing it
would be like you.
And also she can do that because it's closed in.
Yeah.
I have to be in layers.
Yeah, the fact that Vegas is a dome or has a roof at least. Although it's 80 degrees most of the day. The game days that I've gone, even in January, during the day it's fine. It's 65 to 70 in January. This past weekend it was 75 to 80.
So you just rolled up in a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
It does get chilly at night.
Yeah, but
that's
in
about
the
it.
stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm thinking about this game. It's going to rain, and on Sunday, it's going to rain. It's going to be cold. So I'm probably going to go leather pants that I can put leggings under.
Makes sense.
To not get wet on my bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, this girl's in heels.
Maybe pick a better stadium.
I'm good, though. I'll be honest. I'd much rather be covered up than be self-conscious about my arms being naked on screen.
Yeah.
Because, tell you what, that camera does add 10 pounds. When you see my cheeks on that screen, they're way bigger than they are in
Your
real life.
face cheeks.
Yeah, not my butt.
Because I've been talking about
I wish my butt cheeks would be on the screen bigger.
I've been talking about a lot of butt cheeks today, so I want to make sure we're talking about your face cheeks. No, the game day experience, and the poll came out, I don't know if it was USA Today or one of the big publications. It was best game day experience, and I think Seahawks won, correct?
Yeah, we win all of it, especially because of entertainment.
And then the Raiders were, I think, in third or fourth in terms of game day experience. And I will say, what was cool about the Raiders game, and it's great about every Raiders game that I've been to, usually there's a big celebrity singing the national anthem. They had Babyface this year, which it was a really cool rendition of the national anthem. Like, it sounded great, but it was very low energy. It was very 90s R&B.
I mean, yeah.
I felt like it didn't get us going.
Well,
but then the halftime show, Rick Ross.
It's crazy. How did your dad enjoy Rick Ross?
No, my dad and my mom's cousin was also there because he's a Giants fan. Him and his wife flew from Florida to Vegas for the game, and they were not fans of Rick Ross either. And apparently their seats were the way that they perform the halftime show now in Vegas. The first year was different, but they have an area set up where if you've seen the stadium, there's a big torch, the Al Davis torch. On the second floor of the stadium, there's essentially a stage built now, and that's where the halftime show happens. So they don't need to bring someone out onto the field and then wheel the whole stage off. It happens there. Cameras are set. They also, I think, the only stadium in the country that has a house band. So
that's cool.
Instead of like Super Sam playing music in, what's the field here? Lumen Field. They have a house band.
I mean, that's okay.
It's interesting. It's a very Vegas
It's
thing.
like going to a wedding and there being a band and not a DJ. Just so you know.
So the halftime performance happens there. And my mom's cousin's seats were right up against the stage. And he just had Rick Ross yelling on top of his head the whole time. They were not. And I'll be honest, I like Rick Ross. And I listen to a lot of Rick Ross music. The performance was subpar.
It's very hard to perform in a stadium.
Yeah, but it was different because this is an actual stage that is set up already, and the acoustics in the stadium are great. You have to see the whole setup.
It's just, and when you're performing to a crowd that didn't pay to see you.
Yeah, that's the other part.
That's different. Seahawks have stepped it up, though. I mean, we had Sir Mix-a-Lot last year for Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
We had Modest Mouse this year. We had Montel Jordan. Do not say it. Thanksgiving game is going to be lit.
It's a good one.
I'm very excited.
No,
I can't
think
announce it
both
yet.
stadiums have done a very good job with their entertainment team.
And I've got to announce Modest Mouse and Montel Jordan.
That's pretty cool. Are you going to be able to announce the next one?
I sure hope so.
All right. Now, going back, though, we're going to go back from Vegas butt spanking. We're going to rewind for a second. Flying poor. So what I did to get down to Vegas this weekend was I booked 2 separate one-way flights. I booked an $18 flight. Literally, $18.89 was the final cost of the flight.
What a year.
To go down from Seattle to Vegas. It was with Frontier. And the weird thing about Frontier is whether you're buying the ticket or checking in or doing anything, to get to what the information you need, they will make you go through a million screens asking you
to
add on things to your flight. So the $18.89 is the base price.
Okay.
Right? There's no internet access on this thing.
Period.
You might have to pay in advance for it to get like a code. There were no outlets in the seats, which I realized the last second, right before I was leaving to go to the airport, they're probably not going to have outlets. They might not have electricity on this plane. Mm-hmm. So I took a charger, which is fine. Allegedly, you can't even take a full-size backpack without paying extra, which is why I took a little baby backpack, if you saw my Instagram story. But people did reach out saying they've also flown Frontier for the base price, and they've taken a normal size, not like a camping backpack, a normal commuter-size backpack, and they've been fine. But I wasn't going to risk it because I was afraid they were going to charge me $100
because they'll do that
at the gate. So I took a little baby backpack. You can't pick your seat, obviously. Sorry. You're not going to board early. Is it stuck? There you go.
When I blew my nose, I poked my nose ring.
Okay.
It hurt.
Good?
No.
Oh, my God. Heather on Long Island asked, if it fits under the seat, you should be fine, right, in regards to the bag. That's the theory.
But it was showing, like...
It literally said laptop bag, child's backpack, or purse is essentially what it had listed. And they give you the dimensions, too. And I knew that my backpack was going to be a little taller. Mm-hmm. And, again, I wasn't going to risk it. So, base fare, again, $18.89. Add-on for picking your seat. And the add-ons, too, like, to pick a window seat was an extra $70, which then takes you to basically a $100 ticket. So I was like, you know what? It's a 2-hour flight. Even if I get a middle seat, it's a 2-hour flight.
So did you have a middle seat?
I did, but it wasn't a full flight. So I moved to the aisle and I was fine. What else was there?
What kind of people were on this plane?
It was interesting. A lot of the people I really do believe had never flown before. There were just basic things that people were not understanding. Everyone ran to the front of the plane when it landed. No one was lining up in the right order. There was a guy. There were two guys in particular who I was very surprised to see on the plane. One, when you go to any sports game or concert, there is generally someone screaming about the fact that you're a sinner and you're going to hell on a megaphone. And they're normally like dressed in kind of weird things. There was a guy on the plane right in front of me. He had on a bright purple vest that had a bunch of like Bible verses on it. His pants had Bible verses on them. Not the actual text, but it would say like John 3:16 or whatever, right? And then it would say like mercy, and then it would have another Bible verse. It would say like salvation, and then have another one and say like you're going to hell, whatever. It printed all over this guy's stuff.
Yeah, Jen's right. That would have freaked me out.
It was a little freaky. Then there was a guy who he didn't have a bag. He didn't have anything, and it looked like he may have just panhandled, made $18 and bought the ticket, which is kind of great.
Moved to a whole new city.
Which is kind of great.
$18 move?
But other than those two, everyone else was pretty normal. There were a lot of, and this is the thing I do understand, there were a lot of young families. So like young parents with kids.
But why would they go to Vegas?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's where they're from. Maybe they're visiting, whatever it is. But it makes sense because if you're trying to take a regular flight, that's because all the comparable flights on like Alaska or Delta were $230.
The weirdest thing, though, I will say, is the amount of kids you see in Vegas.
Yeah.
And the city is actually trying to lure more families there now by adding kid things to the strip. But it's so weird when you see them and you're at a casino and there's just children running by.
I think during the day it's fine. It's weird when you are at a casino or on the strip at 2 a.m. and there's a kid with just an iPad sitting there because their parents are gambling. You're like, that's sad. But a lot of young families on the plane, which makes a lot of sense because if you're struggling with cash or whatever and you've got a family flying.
We just do a commercial. If you're struggling with credit card debt.
And you're flying, it's super expensive.
Oh, my God.
So that makes a lot of sense.
If we were a family of 4 and we needed to go home for Christmas,
it
would cost us $3,000.
Yeah, $3,000. Or we're driving. But so those were the type of people. I will say the staff on Frontier, angels. They were so patient because, like I said, a lot of the people looked like they were flying for the first time or acted at least like they were flying for the first time. Frontier Airlines, the staff, angels.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
And I wondered this yesterday on the show. Who are these pilots at Frontier? Because every other airline has a pilot shortage.
Yeah.
So why does Frontier
were they not have a shortage as well?
But were they not qualified enough to make it to Alaska, Delta, United?
I think there's a baseline that every pilot needs to pass. But on the way back,
you took Spirit.
I took Spirit, and that was I think a $50 or $70 flight. I can't remember. But again, under $100, one-way ticket on Spirit. The Frontier plane seemed brand new. It had like pretty regular seats. But there is one similarity on both flights that I'll get to in a second. But Spirit has basically plastic seats. They're like this thin. The little card holder, magazine holder is non-existent. It's just a couple rubber bands.
What?
Yeah. It's a couple rubber bands. You could maybe fit a piece of paper in there or a book. But it's not you can't put a water bottle in there because it's going to go right through.
I feel like they wouldn't be clean.
No, it was clean. Both of them were clean. The staff on Spirit wasn't as nice as the staff on Frontier.
Interesting.
The crowd was basically the same. A lot of people bum rushed the front of the plane the second it landed, which was annoying because it throws everything off.
Yeah. And the plane could tip. It happened.
Well, no, I mean,
it happened.
It's on the ground.
No, it happened, but it happened to that JetBlue plane in New York.
What?
Everyone walked to the front of the plane after it landed.
And it tipped?
And it tipped forward.
Okay, well, that thankfully did not happen. But the one similarity, and Spirit Airlines, by the way, is the same. Like, I took the same size bag. I didn't want to take any chances getting charged for anything.
You couldn't get your ticket, though.
Yeah, my boarding pass didn't work for some reason, their mobile boarding passes, when they email them to you, it'll actually say, may not work on Android or Windows devices.
But I couldn't get it either.
Which is 60% of the world. So I had to go to the kiosk, which took 30 seconds. It wasn't a big deal. But the one similarity on both flights that I realized late into the flight on the way back to Seattle, It's going to sound messed up. Those two airlines make you feel super fat because I didn't realize how the seats are actually more narrow. And I was sitting down on both of those flights like, man, maybe I really needed this like no nonsense November. I feel huge. Like my hips are touching both seats, which doesn't I'm not a wide person.
Right.
Whether I've been skinnier or bigger, I've never been a wide person.
Yeah.
And on the Frontier flight on the way down, I went to the bathroom, and there were two bathrooms, one with a changing station and one without.
Oh.
And there was actually a man with his baby going to the one with a changing station, so obviously I didn't use that. Then the other one, I swear to you, if I was half an inch wider, I would have been touching the wall and the sink at the same time.
Do you think that that's also how they can get away with having such cheap airfares? They have a lot of seats.
They fit more seats, exactly. And on both of the flights, I mean, the armrests, because originally I sat in the middle, armrests were like in my hips. And again, I'm not a wide person. And it dawned on me as I was coming down because on the Spirit flight, I did have two people next to me. I was in the middle seat. And every time I moved, I was hitting someone. And I thought to myself, man, this never happens on normal flights. It doesn't happen on Delta. It doesn't happen on Alaska. And I realized later, halfway through, like, oh, it's because everything here is smaller and tighter. The seat in front of me was like in my face.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing it for a 5-hour flight.
And that I could never. And I know people do. My brother flies Spirit when he meets me in Vegas. He flies Spirit from Newark or JFK, wherever he is in New York, to Vegas. And he's that's a 4.5 hour, 5-hour flight.
At the end of the day, if you're getting there safely,
it
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Be uncomfortable for a little bit if you're trying to save money. But
But if you're ever on one of those flights and you think you're feeling a little fat, I promise you, it's the flight. It's not you. That was the wildest thing for me because I was just like this the whole time.
Angela said, I have wide hips. Even when I was 50 pounds lighter, I still had wide hips. It sucks, but they helped me with having babies. I was always told I had childbearing hips. Maybe you have childbearing hips.
I don't think I do. I'm a pretty slender person. Even as I've gotten bigger, I'm still narrow for the most part.
Do you think I'm wider than you?
Your hips? No, because you also don't have wide hips. You don't.
I still think I'm wider.
We'll measure. Do we have a tape measure here?
No, I just want to stand behind you. If you can see me, I win.
Let's see. I have wide hips. Okay, that's the one you just read, Carla Marie. Wait, why? How am I humble bragging my massive arms?
They couldn't fit in the seat.
No. My arms were kind of fine. I guess my shoulders weren't, but I definitely have a bigger torso than Carla Marie. My hips aren't wide. Okay, let's try it. Screw it.
But I have a jacket on.
Take the jacket off. I don't know what to
tell you. It's my jacket.
Also, you'll notice
rented.
I'm wearing my Seton Hall jacket because Seton Hall is the best team in New Jersey as of yesterday, as of last night.
Princeton also won yesterday.
Yeah, but Seton Hall's better than Princeton, and Princeton beat Rutgers.
Seton Hall's not better than Princeton.
Well, Seton Hall's better than St. Peter's, and St. Peter's went the furthest of any New Jersey team in the tournament in recent memory. Therefore, we're the best team in New Jersey.
Go Rutgers football. Oh.
Here, hold on. We're going to use Carla Marie's camera.
You're coming here.
Yeah. Let me figure this out here.
This will be enough to trigger me.
Here. Okay, so we'll go wide here.
It's crooked.
So you think you're wider than me?
Yeah, come on.
I don't think you're wider than me.
Maybe not. No, why would you go that way? Why would you go that way?
Because there's stuff this way.
It's following you, this stupid thing.
Oh, that camera's following me.
Now it lost you.
Okay.
You can't see this.
Yeah, you're not wider than me. Put your arms down. Put your arms behind your back. See, you're not wider than me.
I can't see. You're taller.
See, you're not wider than me.
Tickle,
Don't do that.
I knew I could tickle you because you wouldn't freak out on camera.
What?
Because if I tickled you, you'd probably like, boom.
Whatever you say. The other thing, I mentioned this earlier. I'm glad Rihanna's in the chat. I don't know if my brother is still in the chat. But yesterday was a big day. I would say for the family, but really for my brother and his fiance, because nothing changes in my life.
Cool.
My brother was sworn in as a deputy attorney general in the state of New Jersey.
That's so cool. I don't know
Yeah.
what any of it means or like what his job and title like makes him do now.
I'm not super sure.
Does he
either.
get a badge like a sheriff?
I hope so.
Is he a cop?
No,
What is he?
he's not a cop. He's a lawyer.
I know that.
He's a deputy attorney general. And it was cool. My family sent in, I guess a bunch of them were watching the swearing in because it was done virtually. It was literally, he was sworn in on Zoom,
It was
wearing
crazy.
a suit and tie on top and sweatpants on the bottom, sworn in.
I saw
which
it.
I'll give my brother a lot of credit. He had a good background behind him. It
It
wasn't
looks
the
great.
blur. It wasn't like one of the guys who was getting sworn in had like a tropical background behind him.
I don't think they were getting sworn in. I think they were just part of the team.
No, all four of those people were being sworn in as deputy attorney generals, from my understanding.
Everyone's a deputy attorney.
There's a number of them, yes. There's not just one. I don't know how many there
I'm waiting
are.
for Justin to respond because I don't believe. No, thank you. They weren't.
Oh, they
They
weren't.
were part of. They were swearing in your brother.
So the only
Did
person
you watch the video?
No. No, because it got sent with iPhones on it, so it was all
It was
deteriorated.
fine for me.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you want to watch it? It's
Okay,
cute.
so they all weren't being sworn in. Was it just my brother being sworn in?
Yes,
That's the question.
yes.
Okay.
Just me. They were watching. We
Okay.
had a few other swearing-ins before and after.
So
me.
who was the guy in the Phillies sweater?
He was the boss. He was the
He was
underboss.
not Phillies, Eagles.
Eagles.
Well, they could have dressed up a little more for the occasion, is all I'm saying.
Okay. Anyway, so now do we get gold cards?
For what? He's not a cop. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. I do have a cousin who can give me a gold card, who is a cop in New Jersey. But, excuse me, not Justin.
Okay. So apparently the guy in the Eagles thing was just his boss. What's his boss?
Well, maybe Boss Man can dress up. As an underboss from the murder mystery, I knew that I had to at least wear a button-down shirt, you know? Just saying. He could have dressed up a little bit.
So what does he do now?
No, but I wanted to give Justin credit for,
That's cool.
dressing as he was supposed to and having a good background. He didn't use the blur. He didn't use like a tropical background.
Also, would you like to give him credit for getting the job?
That's what I was doing before that. I said, congratulations. But yeah, so Justin, you can tell people what your actual job is, because I don't really know what a deputy attorney general does, mainly because I'm not smart. But I think there's a bunch of responsibilities. I don't know. So congratulations to Justin.
You're
If
an
anyone-
officer of the court, Lenny said.
That too.
Depends on the branch. But what is he?
What? Finish your sentence.
What is Justin doing?
Well,
He handles civil suits.
so he is deputy attorney general for
For the-
torts, which means I handle civil suits.
The hell's torts division?
Which means I am part of law enforcement, but not a cop. Yeah, well, afterwards, I guess every judge is part of law enforcement. They enforce laws in court, every lawyer and judge. So, congratulations to my brother Justin. Big day for the family. We finally have one successful person.
That's cool.
Yeah. Me and my brother Michael and I are not the successful ones in our family. So, we left that to the youngest.
You know?
Also, the one getting married first, which I think is some sort of level of success in the
Yeah.
family. So good for him. Next on the list, Carla, do we have anything else? No. Flying Poor, Vegas butt spanking. We got that. The hype challenge. We're in level 4, and this is where it really
No, we're getting to level.
getting
4.
to level 4. And this is where it really picks up, because we're at 50,000 experience points, and we need to get to 100,000. I feel like the first 3 levels were kind of easy to get.
Yeah, that's rude.
Not easy. Well,
No,
they're
no,
supposed
not
to be
you.
easier.
Rude that they make it so hard.
Oh, and then the next
But
one.
we have till next Friday.
Which the next one is what? The backpack?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch backpack. And then we get the, if we get to 200,000,
That would be cool.
it's the custom glitch, which is the logo for Twitch, and ID LED neon.
So they would have to make at Carla Marie and Anthony.
Yeah, it's going to have to be long. It's a long one.
They're going to be like, sorry, we can't do that.
That's fine. I would skip that one.
That's not
Like if I could tell them, don't give us that one. Give us the nano leaf kit.
It's lights.
Yeah, which we don't really need in here, but we could use them.
Just
somehow.
send us to TwitchCon.
But 500,000 is a Rode. It's a pretty
There's
good
a new-
microphone.
Oh,
Rode
one microphone?
NT2A.
What are we going to do with that?
I don't know. Then
Cancel the whole thing.
But this is pretty cool. And then what's going to happen is this ends on November 17th, so we have 10 days left. And in December, once we come back from Thanksgiving break, they're doing essentially a new September, which will reduce your cost for subscribing and gifting bits. Normally in September, it's only subs.
But it's going to have to be Sub-Ember, not September.
I don't know what they're calling it.
Sub-Ember.
No, I think they're just saying like December sale or something. But normally in September, which is done obviously in September, you can save money. It's like you save 20% off on a subscription.
But we still make the same.
Exactly. This time in December, they're also adding bits to that. So if you gifted 100 bits, you're only paying for 80 bits, which is going to be pretty cool. So you can continue saving money, supporting the stream, all of that good stuff.
But we're only live until like December 14th.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of, well, there's like a limited amount of shows we got left until the end of the year. So
that's wild. I think we should do a recap of how the show went solo yesterday.
So recap it.
Well, I would like to have everyone review it.
Oh, so you want us to just sit here and watch the screen?
No.
What?
Go to the chat.
Okay.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. I watched for a couple minutes to make sure everything was working. I made sure I had an alarm set in case Carla Marie needed any technical help. And then I went right back to bed.
Everyone heard you. When I called you.
I know. I figured. Oh, the other thing, and I realized I was so tired every morning I woke up, which was only 2 mornings in Vegas. And I realized my dad and I we walked 10 miles yesterday around Las Vegas.
Crazy.
And part of it was because we kept getting misdirected and lost. Like, even in the stadium, we were looking for my mom's cousin who was in a section above us. But for some reason, our section didn't easily connect with his when we went upstairs.
Nope, because stadiums are built like everyone just said, I'm going to build one side, you build the other.
No joke. At one point, it was like I was in a cartoon or a bad detective movie because we walked down one set of stairs and it opened to the outdoors.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that's not the right one.
Always.
Then we went back up and we ended up, there was crisscrossing stairwells and we were just in the wrong one.
I don't know why they do that every stadium.
And I'm not exaggerating, we spent a solid 30 minutes trying to get from our seats in section 143 to my mom's cousin's seats in section 201 and gave up. We even had people trying to help us, and they took us back to where we started. That's
absurd.
It was comical.
Yeah, SoFi Stadium is confusing, but you can easily get to place. Like, it's confusing, but you can easily get to them.
You know what's interesting? At one point, we were being escorted by a Raiders employee or a stadium employee, and there was a couple that was walking ahead of us who were also lost, and they actually said their Raider Stadium was easier to navigate than SoFi, which was a weird thing to say considering we were in a back stairwell and lost. But they said SoFi was difficult.
Yeah,
but
they're all like, I think about it every time I'm running around Lumen Field.
Why can't they just be circles? Like, why are they cut off? Everything should just be a loop. But instead, it gets cut off. Then you got to go down and up and over and then to another section, take an elevator. But then even when we were walking around the Strip, getting from where we were in the Luxor, which is where we stayed, to other casinos, normally you can go for the bottom couple casinos on the Strip, you can walk through each of them to one another.
Yeah.
And casinos do this on purpose. They'll have a sign that says like, oh, if you're going to Excalibur, it's this way. But then once you go that way, there isn't another sign because they want you to get lost. They want you to end up in their shops and at their tables. So we got lost a lot walking around and ended up walking 10 miles yesterday. Saturday night, we probably walked another 5. What's going on?
Lisa said, one time we were at the old Yankee Stadium, a security guard told Boston fans, this isn't Fenway, and didn't help them find their seats.
I love that. That's awesome. Good for that employee. F the Red Sox. Let's see. Who's this?
G. Maurice?
Yeah, G. Maurice.
G. Maurice works at T-Mobile Park.
Lambeau Field. Oh, it left. I don't know where this. Oh, there's Lambeau Field. Left side is evens and right is odd, or vice versa, and gets me every time. I go, how's the number missing? Oh, it's on the other side.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it is pretty stupid. They just need to make circles or ovals and number everything sequentially.
Yeah, I was thinking this literally last game. I was like, why can't I just go there?
Yeah.
Why do I have to do stairs, walk, stairs, walk? Yeah. And sometimes you'll ask a security guard and they're like, there's 2 ways. Which way's best? And then they like help you out. They're great though.
G. Marie said works at T-Mobile, but from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Lambeau's a field I'd like to go to.
It's too cold.
I wouldn't go in December or November. I'd September. I'm actually waiting. I haven't gone to a Raiders game in September yet. I've gone in November twice and January once.
Mm-hmm.
And the November games, the weather's still pretty good. January, it was a little colder, especially at night. I had to wear a jacket around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to a September game, early September. Like, normally the season starts September 11th that weekend or that week. I want to go that week or the week after so I can hit a pool party and go to a football game.
That'd be cool.
Right? Because they normally close a couple weeks after Labor Day. By the end of September, all of the pool parties are normally closed. And I want to be able to do a full, fun, warm Vegas weekend with a football game.
I love a pool party. I hate a club. I love a pool party.
All right. Well, then would you go to an early game?
Yeah. I'll probably be working, but yeah.
That's true. You have your own football
Although we
games.
have had a lot of home games to kick off.
What are you doing?
I've kind of
You just started going like this.
I had the itch, and I was trying not to scratch it, so I just did this.
There are some games. I looked up games in 2024 because you can already find out what home and away games you have. I think.
We don't know when they are.
No, it doesn't say which weekends they are, and the football ticket gods did bless the Raiders this year because we have the Jets, the Giants, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Packers. Those are all teams that travel really well for the most part. Mm-hmm. So if you're selling tickets, it helps. There were a lot of Giants fans at the game this week. Next year, we don't get as lucky. We have the Panthers, it's a fun team with a young quarterback, but I don't think they travel very well. Like, were there a lot of Panthers fans here in Seattle? Because they played this year, right?
And last year.
Then we have maybe the Saints, which could be good because I do think there are a lot of Saints fans, but all the teams are kind of like lackluster teams that are coming to Vegas next year. We got all the good ones this year.
The Raiders played the Seahawks.
That would be a lot of fun. They're just not on the schedule right now.
If that happens in Vegas, we're going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And I would like field passes.
Okay, well, you work for the team. I don't. Heather said my husband is going this weekend. To which game? To Vegas for the Jets?
Play the Commanders in Seattle this weekend. It's going to be a wet one.
I think the Seahawks can at least use the Commanders game to bounce back from getting kind of smoked in Baltimore.
It's hard to watch.
It's interesting that they had to fly to Baltimore, which is neighbors to D.C., and now D.C. is flying to Seattle.
Yeah.
And those teams are basically interchangeable.
Well, according to the commercial that I saw while watching football, AWS, Amazon Web Services, figures out every team's schedule. So it's just an algorithm now.
That makes sense.
They don't like sit there and plan it. It's just like they figure out the best schedule for each team.
The interesting thing that I found, and I guess this happened with Carolina this year in Seattle, because they played here in Seattle last year and here this year, right? Which is weird to me because the Patriots last year played in Vegas and they played in Vegas this year. And then next year, I think the back-to-back team is the Steelers. Like they opened the season this year in Vegas and they will be in Vegas next year.
Okay.
I don't understand why you would send a team to a city 2 years in a row instead of maybe flipping it. Like
that's how our high school team used to be.
Like, isn't it the Lions, the Seahawks played home and away, right? Back-to-back
this
years?
Year.
Right? Back-to-back years.
Did we play?
I think the Lions played in Seattle last year.
I don't remember the Lions game last year, but I know they were away this year.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know why the NFL schedule works that way. Because I feel like they should do because in college you do like a home and away.
Yes.
You play like a team in your own home stadium. The following year you play them in their stadium.
Correct.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. I know it's all pre-planned. I just don't know why that's part of the planning in terms of the same city for the same team.
Well, next year I know that University of Washington Huskies College play Rutgers in New Jersey, but I don't know the week. Like, just tell me.
Yeah. The annoying thing with college, especially now that the conferences have been realigned and they're getting bigger and it's more about the TV contract, is oftentimes you don't know the time of the game until
the day
before. 10 days before.
No, it's less sometimes.
Which if you're flying to a game, it's not great.
No. But I would love, my goal next year is to do a meetup at the tailgate. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk to Rutgers to see if I can do it. For just come anyone who's a UW or Rutgers fan.
That's usually not how they work, though. Usually it's like Rutgers fans go here.
Yeah, but they would be so happy for me to get some UW people on the boardwalk.
What's the boardwalk?
What? Excuse me?
What is I know what the actual boardwalk is. I'm not asking about the
huge
Atlantic City
tailgate.
boardwalk.
They literally build a boardwalk
Oh, cool.
outside of Shy Stadium.
Shy?
Yeah. SHI.
Okay.
And they build, like, there's a Ferris wheel. There's, like, all boardwalk food, boardwalk games.
Lame.
It's sick.
That's not what tailgates are supposed to be. Tailgates are supposed to be built by fans.
And then
not by Bud Light putting up a Ferris wheel at Rutgers Stadium.
But you have to think how many students are not allowed to drive to that game.
Yeah.
So where are they going to tailgate?
With whoever. You find a tailgate and you
I
party.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Because, like, the Raiders tried that, too. The Raiders, there isn't a good tailgate scene outside of Allegiant Stadium, mainly because if you're going to drink, you could go drink in a casino probably for free if you're betting or whatever. So the casinos don't really want a big tailgating scene, but they also have a sponsored area I think it's sponsored by Modelo. And, yeah, there are some people there, but it's lame.
No,
like,
this is cool.
It's cool because you think Rutgers
I've never
is
been
cool.
to it. Everyone,
So you don't even know if it's cool. Oh, I think I've seen Sam posting
Yeah.
from there. Yeah, not cool.
it's so cool.
Lame.
So,
A tailgate is supposed to be a foldable table,
okay.
some
well,
cheap
you
beer,
can have your shithole tailgate.
maybe a funnel and an ice luge. And then you go down to like SEC country where like Alabama,
and they
Auburn.
have legit tailgates.
Oh my God, they're insane.
Exactly.
I'll never forget this. I went down with some of the guys from the Roosevelts. We were filming a partnership they had with Oscar Mayer Meats. They had like a tailgate package. And Dhani Jones, former football player, was the one filming it, and I was helping kind of like set everything up. We were at Florida State is where we were at, right? Yeah, Florida State. And it was the University of Florida versus Florida State game. So big rivalry game, Thanksgiving weekend. The tailgates that we saw were insane. There were people that had, their own family had 2 gigantic like RV camper buses, $1 million buses. They would take 3 parking spots. They'd rent, because you have to pay for them, 3 parking spots. Out of the RV would come couches, big screen TVs, fire pits.
I'd rather,
tents.
like, that's so obnoxious, though.
It was so cool. This guy, I think
Who's got to pack that up?
Keith was his name. Keith was at the time, 50-something-year-old man. Both of his kids went to Florida State. One was a pitcher who had just graduated, and I think his daughter was a cheerleader. So they're a big Florida State family. He didn't even go to the school. Just loves the school. His kids went there, spent millions of dollars.
Yeah, I would love to be a tailgate parent.
And he was the most fun human. This guy was 50, getting iced with Smirnoffs, chugging out of the funnel. They had an ice luge. They had every type of thing you could have at this tailgate. And this guy was just living life. And it was so cool because we did all the stuff for filming the tailgate scene that we were supposed to. And Keith invited us back. After the game was over, there was a big Notre Dame game that night. And he just, even though the Florida State game was over, they were still partying with all the other games.
So who's driving those RVs home?
Someone else. Or maybe they sleep in them for the night and go home the next day. I have no idea.
Really cool.
But it was incredible. SEC country, they tailgate like nobody else.
Okay, well, anyway, again, make sure you come to my Rutgers UW meetup next year.
Yeah, I think UCLA is also playing at Rutgers.
I'm not going to be at that one.
Or Rutgers is playing at UCLA. One of the two. I know they play each other next year.
Do you think they'll let me do in-game host for that game?
At Rutgers?
Yeah.
They probably have someone.
They don't.
They don't have a single
I don't
person.
think so.
They have to have someone.
I think for basketball they do.
I feel like for every game they do. Maybe it's a student. You're going to try to take a student's job? You know what? That would be cool, though, because I do remember...
God, I would die. I'd be so nervous. There's like the second worst thing after high school students is college students.
So the interesting thing, and I would love if they did that, because it would be cool to see some alumni come back and do some of those things. And if a student does have that job, maybe you only do like 2 hits.
I do it with them, show them the ropes.
Because the one thing I remember was a couple of years ago, Bob Lee from ESPN, like one of the first employees at ESPN, big time sports personality. He's a Seton Hall grad. And when he was retiring, they had him come back to Seton Hall Sports for the radio broadcast and do a Seton Hall game with the students. And
cool.
He was really cool. He only did half, or maybe half of a half, whatever it was. And when they asked him about it, he said, listen, those kids need that time more than I do. I loved going, and it was great. He's like, but I didn't want to make it. I didn't want to make the whole broadcast about me. This is a game that those students should enjoy broadcasting. It's experience they need.
It doesn't matter how long they do it. They get to do it with him.
Exactly.
That's cool.
That must have been like a legendary thing for them. So it would be cool if you went back and did that as a professional in-game host. Although for the University of Washington, there are also professional hosts. They don't have students do it.
Yeah, so
I
that's
feel like they should. Right? Like, shouldn't they just have students do that stuff? Maybe with a mentor such as you?
Guess I never really thought about that. But I don't remember having someone at the football games at Rutgers because I would have been trying to do that.
Yeah, we definitely had them at Seton Hall, and I know they have someone now.
They have it at basketball is what I'm telling you, but at football.
At the rack? The stupid rack?
It's Jersey Mike's Arena.
Oh, yeah, they don't like when you call it the rack anymore, right?
No.
Jersey Mike's Arena. At least it's Jersey Mike's. I'll give them that. Like, at least
cool.
you have a cool local sponsor. But also probably not the best sponsorship because everyone still calls it the rack. But let's see. Morning Show podcast is out and ready. That's our stream element.
Is it though?
Do you want to check to make sure?
It's everywhere but Spotify and no.
Still not on Spotify.
So insane.
So if you still haven't gotten the link, feel free to message me at Worst Anthony on Instagram, and I will get you the link to a different platform. If you're on Android, Google Podcasts will still work for now because it's still up and running. If you're on Apple, it should be on Apple Podcasts. And is it on iHeart?
Sorry, I was just checking the email.
Okay.
It's on iHeart.
Okay. So any of those three, the big ones, you can check it out. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Yeah. Or it's just called iHeart now.
I don't know.
Whatever they do over there. We're out of here.
Oh, it's
Thank you very
Amazon.
much. What?
It's on Amazon too. Thank you.
True. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Thursday. Carla Marie will be in New Jersey because she's hosting a big event.
I'm hosting the Little Words Project Give Back Gala Thursday night. So I'll be streaming Thursday. My parents are babysitting my niece, Adriana, on Thursday, and I'll be at their house. So if she's not napping, maybe she'll make an appearance.
What's she going to do?
Well, she makes noises now, so, and
Oh, great.
can sit up.
We'll be back on Thursday. Again, if you're going to meet us tonight here in Seattle at Regal Meridian, be at the movies theater at 6:15. It's for Saltburn. And then we'll tell you how it was on Thursday. Any last words, Carla Marie?
Peace out.
Later.